What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And we are speaking the language of bromance. And Shawn, this is day 2 of us talking there. We were going to record last night, but we ended up not. We just
we talked for 4 hours.
We did.
Yeah, it was super late. We talked about love and marriage. How's the song go?
Love and marriage,
See, it's like we just know each other. We just finish each other's
sandwiches.
Yeah, there it is.
That's what I was gonna say.
Richard, I want to know. So I got a story. It's kind of a short story, but goes in a lot of different directions. How do you feel about weddings?
I was in one.
I've been in.
I was at yours.
Yeah, you're at my wedding. I was in 2 weddings, I think. Not counting my own.
Oh, counting my own, I've been in 2. Wait.
How do you feel about going to weddings?
It depends. Am I
a guest?
I was gonna say it's just a guest. I mean,
I always feel like I've got this thing. Like if it's a family wedding, like it's fun because like you get on the dance floor, you can act like an idiot, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's just Shawn. He's weird."
That's true.
But if you go to it's like a friend of your wife's, like they're kind of like kids growing up together, like they haven't really talked in 10 years, but we felt obligated to go, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And you go, and somebody yells at you because you're not supposed to wear black socks to a wedding, and you wore black socks. Did you know
you're not?
Thing? I guess not, yeah.
I did not know Shawn, I just said I've been at 2 weddings. One was mine and one was yours.
Yeah. I never
that I can really recall.
I don't like to wear ties either, so I don't wear a tie.
I don't mind it.
I've shown up too without a tie, and like people are like, "What are you doing?" And there's like 50 other people not wearing ties. Yeah, Shawn, they're all women. Well,
I don't own any bow ties. I'm curious to see how I'd look in a bow tie.
I don't think you could pull a bow tie off.
You don't think so?
You're a bow tie kind of guy. You're like a skinny tie kind of dude.
That's what. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I concur.
But the story's wedding. How do you feel about Instagram too? Because we're going to learn a little bit about Instagram in this.
Okay, so I just recently, like within the last maybe 3 months, created an Instagram account. I have posted absolutely nothing, but it's there. It's there.
I created one for our show because I was like, oh my gosh, we can kind of like live stream with this. You know what I found out, Richard, from Instagram? There's a lot of chicks. There's a lot of chicks showing their butts and their boobies.
Really?
There's a lot. There's just like this big like chicks.
What Instagram pages are you looking at?
The right ones.
Write them down.
Well, it's like you go like, hey, I want to search. I want to see things for me. And it's like boobs, wrestling.
It's like it knows me.
It's like Language of Bromance. All right, these are some bros. Boobs. But question your sexuality. Oh, but there's also this big.
They got me.
I guess apparently there's also this big like fishing in bikinis. There are so many flippin' accounts that are just chicks fishing in bikinis, like deep sea fishing and stuff like that.
Okay,
which makes sense because like you're out on the boat in the sun. Like, yeah, get some sun on those buns.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I get that if you're on a boat, but I would just correlate that to like, it's not that you're fishing in a bikini. I would just correlate that to you're on a boat, so you're wearing a bikini.
Well, I mean, most of the time when you fish, like you're wearing like fishing gear, but like these are like accounts where they're on boats. They're like, some of them are deep sea fishing. Some are just like regular like bass fishing or fishing from the shore. And they all have like this tasteful shot from the back where they're wearing like these thongs and they're not wearing any tops.
Oh.
I'm like, I've been fishing wrong all these years.
Yep.
Showed up with my father-in-law in a bikini and no top.
Let's take our tops off.
I'm ready to fish, Dad. Tiffany, we have to talk about your husband.
I was.
If you're going to wear something like that, Shawn, you might want to trim up the bushes there. No, it's real a fish hide. But Richard, we have a story. It's about a wedding photographer, and this takes place like a lot of times too. When you think of like this weird story we're going to read, you're like Florida, right?
Yep, that was my first thought. Florida.
This one takes place in Texas.
Oh, the other Florida.
Is Florida really? Is Texas? I don't think Texas is the other Florida.
No, I just made that up, but it'll be a thing in a few years. Trust me. What would be the other Florida? Louisiana.
Is there another?
Because
Florida?
they have gators too.
Texas has gators. Texas has big gators. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Like at the zoo?
No, like out in the wild. Like they have I don't know. I think they're not fishing seasons; they're hunting seasons for alligators. But some dude pulled in like a 15-footer.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a big old gator.
So you're all worried about sharks. I worry about gators.
Yeah,
I live next to a river. That's why I stay away from the river, because of alligators.
No, there's sharks in that river, not gators. They wouldn't make it that far up north.
There's gators.
Is there?
I haven't seen one, but I know they're there because
you're like, log, that's a gator. Log, no, that's a gator.
Yep. We have camouflage. We have chameleon gators. They know how to blend. That's all I'm saying.
But Richard, this story, like I said, takes place in Texas, and it's this Texas wedding that was far from picture perfect. So a wedding photographer who moonlights as a swimsuit model was arrested Saturday after having sex with a male guest, which is bad enough, but then urinating on a nearby tree.
Whoa. Hang on. She was arrested because she slept with somebody? Did this man pay him?
This is a female photographer.
Oh, did somebody pay her? I'm sorry.
I don't know. So I only read a little bit about this, so we have to kind of figure out what's going on here. I'm not sure why she got arrested, either for the sex or for the peeing on a tree, which, I mean, come on, it's a wedding. If you're going to pee somewhere, peeing on a tree is fine.
Right.
So Catherine Leah Mata, 26 years of age, was arrested at the Springs event venue in Weatherford, about 30 miles west of Fort Worth, after an off-duty sheriff's deputy working as a security guard was alerted to Meta having sex with a guest in a room at the Parker County event space, according to arrest reported by the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I know, right? It's a wedding, you know.
And they're in a room?
Yeah. Well, it's probably like a closet or something. But
it's
even
not like they're on. Well, I'm saying it's not like they're on the buffet.
Have you ever hooked up? Well, you've only been to 2 weddings, so I hope you say yes to at least one of them. Have you ever hooked up at a wedding or after a wedding?
Mine? No.
Is it mine? Like we got back. I was like, yes, this is why I spent all this money. Like, I'm tired.
Dude, I was like, honestly, like after our wedding, like both of us were tired. Like both of us were exhausting.
My wedding with Tiffany, we had a pretty small, like intimate kind of wedding. Like it started at like 4 p.m. It was fucking hot as fuck because it was in June.
Yeah.
And it was like 104 degrees.
Yeah.
And we kind of did it on the cheap. So we did it out in the park, and we had like speakers and stuff. So I was out there in my get up, like putting speakers out and stuff. It was just like drenched in sweat.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went and had a reception, which was pretty small, really nice dinner. But then we just kind of did like a small casual dance thing. It was over by like 8. After we got done at there, we had like a handful of people like, listen, we're going to keep partying. We're going to go to the dance club. So Tiffany went to the dance club in her wedding dress, me in my outfit, and we partied it out all night long. And I got really drunk.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
It was fun.
Did I? I think I did a little bit.
When we got back to the hotel, too, I'm like, hey, I'm ready to do this. And she's like, I'm not.
And then you were like, yeah, I'm not either. I'm ready to do this. Where's pants to go? These are the wedding pants.
Hey, do your wifely duty and help me to the bathroom. You married this.
You did this to yourself.
Do you regret this, babe? I shouldn't have had that.
Happy honeymoon.
I shouldn't have had that 6th piece of cake. No, you shouldn't have had that 6th Jaeger bomb.
Yeah.
Don't tell you my business. You're right, babe. That's why I married you. Here, give me a kiss. Shawn,
put that cake back. It's expensive.
Shawn, you're kissing the toilet. Well, it's the honeymoon suite, so you're supposed to. It's tradition.
Yeah, you gotta be sweet to everything.
It's secret. It's something old, something new, something blue, and then toilet feet kisses.
And then toilet seat. It totally rhymes. It totally fits in there.
So, sheriff's officials said Mata, who also works as a model under the name Max McIntyre. That's a very sexual name.
Max McIntyre?
Yeah.
That is kind of a porn star name.
Yeah.
But it's also like a cop name.
I'm
You know what I
kind of
mean?
yeah.
Oh, Max McIntyre. Yeah.
That's like an undercoat.
I got suspended, and that's how I'm going to crack this case.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go out. Well, you got to be like a chick. No, I'm going out, and I'm going undercover.
Give me some vigilante justice.
What is that? Cocaine? Well, guess what, bitches? I'm Max McIntyre.
Yeah, and they're like, it's powdered sugar. We're baking the cake. We're just, why are you here? The wedding doesn't start for like 18 hours.
So she was confronted about the thrift, and officers told her to leave, but she strolled up to a nearby fountain and began to yell. So I think this is where it happens. Like a lot of times, if the police are like, hey, listen, I know you were having sex in there and we just caught you pissing on that tree. Why don't you just go home?
Right. Have you ever been caught by a police officer?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Define caught.
Well, did he knock on the window and say, hey, I know what's going on?
It did.
Right,
it totally happened.
So it was me in a toilet seat in the backseat of a car.
I was giving it sweet kisses, and I'm like, this back seat is more like a back honeymoon suite. No, I don't know. I honestly, like, I was pretty hammered, and it all just happened kind of fast. It was like, hey, let's go outside. Hey, let's go to the car. Hey, let's make out. Hey, let's, like things progressed quite rapidly from my fuzzy recollection.
Which in drunk
it's not really a great. It's not really a great story to tell because, like I said, little hazy on the road map there.
Yeah,
but I do distinctly remember the tap from the flashlight on the window. But I will say this. Okay, it was after, right?
That's good at least.
Wasn't
do you think
during.
He knew? Like, do you think he saw it rocking?
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
that's a good guy cop right there. He's like,
do you wait until the end?
What's going on here? He's like, it's not going to last more. Oh, they're done.
And could you wait until I go over there? Jeez, he's not like in a slow jog.
Knocks on it, and you roll down the window. It's like, oh, look, sweetie, a stripper. Pull out your taser.
What am I getting the ticket for?
I bet it's indecent. Oh, there comes the cake. Sorry, officer. I was just at a wedding. No, so this isn't my story, but I remember somebody telling me that they were getting busy, and they had a cop come and knock on the window. This might have been a cop that told me this story, and the guy rolls down the window, and the cop's like, "Hey, can you leave? Yeah, can you not do this here?" And he's like, "We're not doing anything." He's like, "Can you just not do that here?"
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, you're she's pretty and you're pretty, so I'm sure the tension between you is quite deep. Maybe you should go somewhere else.
Please don't fuck in the Walmart parking lot. My favorite story. So this is a personal story to me, Richard. So when I was in high school, I think, me and my lady
in the high school parking lot, you dog.
Yeah. I want to get a 4.0. What's that mean? I don't know. Sounds erotic.
Means I'm going to double my average.
So me and my lady friend at the time were, of course, it's just like kids, like, we got to find a place to park. I was always super paranoid.
Why don't you grade on this curve?
Do you want me to, I guess we'll have to pull your average up there, won't we?
Yeah.
Hey, what does that mean? You said you're a virgin. So I was always super paranoid. So I never liked to like go to parks and stuff like that. Cause one, I was afraid like hobos would come and like kill me and rape me.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you lock the doors?
Of course you lock the doors. But
well, what are you worried about?
I don't know. I was young and scared. And so I knew there
changed?
I got a house now, so I can do it in the privacy of my own home. It's still by myself, though. So I knew there was a gas station that was getting built. And so I was like, well, we'll just go behind the gas station, right? Like nobody would think to go there. It's a gas station being built. So we go behind it and we're doing our thing. And all of a sudden I start to see lights.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, holy shit. Like there's cops. Like, oh my God. Like we're going to get in so much trouble. My parents are going to find out. It's like,
jail.
Oh, those were going through my mind.
They're going to cuff me and not even going to let me put pants on.
Yeah. They're going to cuff me naked. So he's going to take a picture. They're going to be like, well, that's going to be below the curve scale right there. That's like a 1.0.
Enhance.
I'm like, it's cold outside. So I see the lights. I'm like, oh, shit, put your clothes back on. And I'm pulling my clothes on. And she's like, just make out with me. They won't know what we're doing. I'm like, they're going to know what we're doing. So we hurry up and crawl in the back seat, and we were behind it. And I thought I still saw the lights.
Wait a minute, you crawled in the back seat?
We crawled from the back seat to the front seat.
Oh, okay. So
I was like, let's just leave. Let's just go. Because there's no, like, we didn't see a cop car anywhere around us. We just saw the lights.
Sure.
And so, like, I was expecting to come around the back of the gas station and there to be like a squad of cars. Like, expected me to be like breaking into this place or something like that. And there was no cop cars, and so we pull on the highway, and like my heart starts to slow down. Richard, in my scared moment of jumping back in the front seat, I didn't have the foresight to pull off the protection I had on.
Oh.
So as we're driving, I decided to pull it off as we're giggling, and I go to throw it out the window, and it's stuck to my windshield. Stay in school, kids.
And then she was like, it's okay, it doesn't block that much. And then you're like, hey, wait a minute.
Good thing you didn't get a Magnum, right? Wait a second. You said it was a good size.
Do they sell those? I thought that was a myth.
I thought those were just for like head protection during the rain.
It's a shower cap, right?
It's a full body condom. So Meta continued. So she, cops were like, hey, we saw we know that you were, doing something. Why don't you just go ahead and leave? And she kind of yells at him as she's walking away. And she continues to walk to a tree on the property and begins to urinate, according to the report.
Yeah.
So she didn't get arrested for the sex. She didn't get arrested for being verbally abusive to the cops. But she ends up getting arrested because as she's walking away, she's like, fuck you, stupid pigs. Yeah. Oh, God, pulls up her skirt, and as she's pissing, just sitting there looking at me. You guys are just stupid. Oh, God, I got on my shoes.
I heard that if they make eye contact with you, it's because they value security and they look to you as a motherly figure.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's why she did it. She was scared.
Maybe, yeah. So
the cops arrested.
Or is that dogs?
I don't know. Whenever I poop, I always like look at a picture of you.
Thanks. That's why I keep one in the bathroom.
And above my bed.
That way I'm always close.
So I think this is a great name for her, or a nickname for her. So she walks over the tree, she drops trowel, she starts peeing on it. And it says that the cops arrested the sultry shutterbug. I feel like this is like the greatest comic book ever. The sultry shutterbug going from wedding to wedding, screwing the guests in the closet.
But like it's like I said, like I can't fault anybody for like sleep. Like don't fault two people just because of the guest. If one of them's like the groom, for example, then yeah, okay,
I can see that. That's not an arrestable
that.
offense, and plus he's not married. It's not illegal. It's not adultery.
It's not yet. Still got 20 minutes.
Wait, we gotta post.
By the way, can you delay this wedding 20 minutes?
We didn't consummate it. Hey, babe, do you want to consummate it? We can make this a little three-way action.
Yeah. I'm sure the priest doesn't mind. Actually, I do mind. That's not how this works. You can't just
make this a four-way, Father.
We can't have a write-in on the marriage license.
So This is where it gets kind of creepy on her part. So she threatened the relatives of the officer as they led her back to the back of the police cruiser. So I think this is probably kind of, I mean, I've heard stories about this, like, somebody's drunk, they get arrested, they kind of just get completely belligerent. But she's like, y'all families will be dead by Christmas. Y'all daughters are dead. She told the deputies from the back seat, my dad is going to find out about this, and y'all are expletive, which I'm guessing is probably crap. Y'all are crap and dead.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
But I got to read this again because how she does it is great. And I don't know if surely this is like from their body cam or something. But she says, my dad is going to find out about this and y'all are fucking dead. D-E-A-D, dead.
Hey, kudos for spelling.
Yeah. Kill my landlord. Kill him dead. D-E-D, dead.
C-I-L-L, my landlord.
So Mata, who is facing charges of public intoxication and obstruction and retaliation, was released from custody on Sunday after posting bail. They don't really go into the story of who she was having sex with at the wedding, but I think that's going to be fun for us to investigate in this. So Richard, you and I are at this Texas wedding. We see this, and she's a fairly attractive lady. Like I see some of her Instagram pictures. Like she's cute, going around taking pictures, and all of a sudden, she's like hitting Uncle Joe. She's like, "Hey, do you want a special picture?"
Are we just writing a penthouse story now? Is that's what you want to do?
That's a good point. Dear Penthouse, I'm pretty sure I didn't think the second half of this story was going to happen to me.
I was at a wedding and
the photographer took me to a closet. And let me say, that was awesome. Until we got caught by a security guard.
Yep. Turns out the security guard.
Then I found out that chick was crazy.
Crazy. All right, Shawn. Now, is there more to the story, or
there's a little bit more, mostly about her sister kind of jumps in and says that this didn't happen, but you sound like you were going to kind of toss something in there.
She said that the whole thing didn't happen.
So
it's like, nothing to see here.
There's not much that tidies this up, but so investigators said they found a prescription bottle of something that was used for anxiety and panic disorder in her jacket. And they believe between the drug and the alcohol that might have caused her to have these kind of these dangerous side effects. Which is interesting.
Oh, shit.
You hear about that with a lot of drugs. It's like you take some drugs and all of a sudden you're posting racist comments on Twitter.
You're not wrong.
And side effects of that is racist comments on Twitter.
You're sleeping with wedding guests.
Yeah, losing an ABC show. Like lots of stuff need to happen with that.
Yeah. All right. So wait a minute. So if I don't have an ABC show, does that mean that I wouldn't suffer these side effects?
I mean, you could still have the racist comments, but nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just kind of a blind racist on the internet.
Like, no, it's the Ambien. All right, Shawn. Well, you got my brain turning. And so I just quickly found crazy wedding stories.
Oh, I like this.
And so I haven't read these, nor have you. So I'm just gonna cherry pick ones that look interesting.
I like this story. Let me finish just a little bit on this. So
okay, perfect.
Because there's another story that says like 5 things, 5 facts to know about this.
Story.
You have this story, yeah. One, her sister says that she drank. Her drink was spiked at the wedding.
Oh.
So either she had an alcoholic drink and didn't know it, or somebody actually drugged her drink, which is bad.
Yeah. I would lean more towards the second one because I don't really. This is Heineken, right?
Wait, this is a rum and Coke, right? I'm not supposed to drink. I'm on duty.
Yeah. You can lie and I won't mind.
Who said vodka?
You're kind of cute.
Well, that leads into number 2. So Matea, the girl that got arrested, says her secret talent is making people feel good about themselves.
Aww.
You know what makes me feel good about myself, Richard?
If the wedding photographer's like, hey, let's go into a closet.
No one. I was going to say, like, if anybody's like, hey, Shawn, you're cute. Let's go to the closet. Bone.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
that usually makes
Uncle
me
Tom.
feel great. I can't right now, but thank you for boosting my self-confidence. That's always my response.
She's got a lot of interesting pictures on her Instagram, but she says that she would model an erotic fetish in lingerie shoots. One of her top fetishes is photograph or wedding photographer's sex scenes.
Yes.
I made that up.
Yes.
That seems like that's a new fetish.
I think you could start a whole account like that. Oh my God, what if you did that? What if you just went from wedding to wedding and everybody you took a picture of are the people that you slept with?
Oh my God, could you imagine how pissed off the bride
you could post
would be?
the picture and then post the whole story.
Yeah, but then the wedding, like the bride gets the wedding pictures and it's like, wait a minute, this is my dad. This is my mom. This is my Aunt Beth. This is my grandma. What the fuck are these?
Yeah.
It's like,
and the dad's like, hey, she's a unicorn. I can't turn that down. Once in a lifetime.
Your mom said the only way we'd ever have a three-way is if the photographer at a wedding wanted to fuck us. And guess what? It finally happened.
You're not standing in my way.
Best $100,000 I've ever spent.
I gotta recoup these expenses somehow.
As the dad of like, if you like do the traditional thing where the dad pays for the daughter's wedding, it's like, all right, so it's like $100,000 for the photographer. That's a pretty expensive photographer. Like, yeah,
worth it. I have two daughters, so I hope that all these things are true.
Your wife's like, listen,
I do hope that the tradition goes away though, because
it kind of does. I mean, even today, I think the parents of the bride, they'll pay for like a decent chunk of it if they want to, but it's definitely not expected. Let's see. Number 4 on this is that her social media account is being trolled due to her arrest, which again, don't troll. She's got 48,000 followers though. So either she's already got some pretty good PR or she's getting it from this.
Yeah. Or she's really popular at weddings.
And then the last one is just that she's facing the charges of public intoxication. So seems like an interesting ride. If she listens to this and you want to be a guest on the show, definitely give us a ring on Instagram. We're at Language
No
of
joke.
Bro.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of.
We already know yours.
I want to follow her, but I'm kind of scared when she's like, my dad's going to fucking kill you.
Are you guys having any weddings soon? We'll make one up.
Ours. We're having our wedding. Babes, it's happening.
I'm out of unicorn.
It's just going to be me and Shawn and the unicorn, but any port in a storm. Am I right, babe?
Right? Huh? Why are you getting the bags out?
Oh, you're taking the kids.
Ow. All right.
Worth it.
So like I said, I just did a quick search on crazy wedding stories, and so I'll read some of them, and then you give me your take. Okay. Okay. So here's one. My husband and I attended an outdoor wedding at a public park in town. When we arrived, the police and the coroner's van were there.
Oh.
Surrounded by the wedding guests.
The dad's like standing there, is like, you're going to marry my daughter over my dead butt. Oh, God. Well, wedding's still on.
He did warn me. Apparently, a homeless man had sought shelter behind the lattice surrounding the bottom of the gazebo. Apparently, this was also in Missouri in June. So
ooh, that's going to be ripe.
Yeah, a little bit. So they proceeded to move the wedding to a field on the other side of the park. They're like, it's okay, guys. We'll just go 50 feet that way.
Well, I think I've heard it's like, so if it rains on your wedding day is good luck. If you don't see the bride before the wedding, it's good luck. And then if a hobo dies the night or within a week of your wedding at your wedding site, it's supposed to be good luck for your marriage too.
Is that supposed to be good luck?
Things.
I know it. Okay.
It's like I said, it's like the something new, something old, something blue. Toilet seat kissing it.
Toilet seat kisses and a dead hobo. Okay. All right. Here's another one. The preacher was in the middle of the vows, and one of the groomsmen interrupted and said, John, I'm sorry. You can't marry Sherry Lynn. I love her and she's pregnant with my baby.
What? Oh, you're like, John, first off, I'm marrying your sister.
I have questions. Just one of the
First
guests.
one is yes.
If I was one of the guests, I'd just be questions.
First off, yes, this wedding is off. Second, what the fuck is up with this wedding?
She's still paying, right? That's question number 3.
I've always wondered, like, you hear stories about that, like the day of the wedding, like something comes up, like the groom's like, oh my God, I fucked like 7 hookers, on my bachelor party, or the bride's like, oh my God, I blew 20 strippers, at my bachelorette party.
Yeah,
call the wedding off. Like, first off, whoever's paying for that stuff, like, what the fuck? Like, couldn't you keep it in your pants for like 6 years like a normal married person? Like, you wait, right? You wait, you get the 7-year itch, then you go out and cheat, and then you get divorced, and you're miserable, and your kids are miserable, and life is miserable. But you don't affect me in this day. This is my day as the payer of this wedding. Because again, at that point, it's like, listen, you're going to have to move back into my house, and I don't want that, because I heard the photographer likes to have sex, and she's a unicorn, so I was going to bring her back to the house and be like, hey, Mrs. Mom and Dad are going to
I had a present already.
I've never been to one of those weddings. I'm sure it's pretty rare, but like that's one of those weddings you just like prop your leg up, pull out a bag of popcorn, and be like, I'm just here for the show.
Yeah, right? Like what? Like you have there's I'm sure every single guest there is just like deer in headlights. Like, hey, should we leave? No, we shouldn't.
Hey, just question. I didn't eat anything for lunch. Is the reception still going to be on?
Like, you're not going to throw out all those sandwiches, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's buffet style. The food's already made.
Right? Shawn, I'm not done.
Oh.
So then the groom proceeds to yell at the bride, and saying, throwing out all your general insults, like, oh, you're cheap, and shit like that.
And then another groomsman stands up and says, surely you can't marry him because we're gay lovers.
Then one of the guests stands up and yells at the groom. Serves you right, you bastard. You've been screwing my sister for a year.
Ooh, this is like a Jerry Springer episode.
I know, right?
Instead of yelling, Jerry, they're like, Father Tom, Father Tom.
Like that, like
Father Tom just closed the Bible. He's like, you all just need some Jesus.
I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday. It's one of those. See, like that's one of those stories that I'm like, that has to be made up. That can't happen. That can't happen in real life.
I mean, how many weddings are like people sitting out there is like, I know a secret or I know something. If either one of the bride or groom knew, this wedding would be off. Like when they say it's like, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Okay, so when that happened for you, did you have like that moment where you're like, is somebody going to say something?
You know what's odd is we talked about that when we were planning our wedding, and we made up kind of our own like agenda, and I was like, oh, we should totally put that in. And Tiffany's like, no, we shouldn't.
Right?
She was afraid somebody now.
Yeah, she was afraid somebody was going to say something.
Yeah, she invited a lot of ladies to this wedding too.
Was she afraid that one of the friends was going to be like, no, because we're lovers? And they'd be like, can I double down?
All right, guys, wedding's off to the honeymoon suite.
Where's the toilet?
It's gonna be me, the groom, it's gonna be me, the bridesmaid, in the toilet seat. Dear penthouse.
Let's see. Let's find another one. I was at a wedding about 10 years ago, and the bride did not get along with her brother and his new girlfriend. During the reception, the girlfriend grabbed the microphone and gave a speech.
Ooh.
Then made the brother get down on one knee, and she proposed to him. Then it got really quiet, and the bride rushed to where the situation happened and said, no one gives a fuck. because this
So-
is my day and everyone cheered.
PSA, like if you're going to propose on somebody else's wedding day is not the appropriate time to do that.
I would concur. I would agree with that.
I mean, I guess like if you want to, like reception's over, everybody leaves, you're going back to your hotel with your your girlfriend at the time or boyfriend, and you want to propose then, that's probably okay because nobody's going to find out till the next day. But doing it like at the reception or something like that is,
yeah. I just don't like what in your head like the only reason you're doing that is to try and like steal the spotlight.
oh yeah, for sure.
It's the
I mean, 'cause
only reason.
it's a very romantic moment. I mean, whenever we go to weddings, even if it's somebody that I'm like, fuck, like I don't know any of these people, you see the emotion in people's eyes, and you see like, you know, the parents of the bride and the groom kind of like holding their hands, and like, you know, you get a little mushy, and your wife reaches over and you hold hands, and then you like try to put your hand up their dress, and she smacks it, and you try to put her hand on your wee wee, and she smacks your hand again. What, you don't do that? Weddings are erotic.
You know, I gotta say,
Since you tossed it up there.
since you threw it out there.
Yeah.
No,
I know a lot about you and your lady during weddings.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
from like, I haven't experienced or seen anything. I just know from you telling me.
Really?
That closet door was jarred.
My husband's best friend was so drunk during our reception. Oh my God, this is so you. My husband's best friend was so drunk during our reception that he was walking around with his dick out.
Here
knew
comes the dick. Here comes the dick. Hey, somebody get me a mic. This is hilarious.
Hey, do you like it? You should put a ring on it.
Oh, I'm a single ladies. Oh, I'm a single ladies.
We're single ladies. You are married, idiot.
God, I'm
Luckily-
sorry. Shawn is so embarrassing.
Most everyone saw, including my grandparents. Luckily, I didn't. He was embarrassed the next day. He just got engaged, called my husband, and said, "Hey, man, you can totally pull your dick out of my wedding. I won't be mad."
I'm trying to think if I've ever, like, what's the most embarrassing thing I've done drunk that I can remember? Like the one, like you wake up the next day, or like when you think about it, you're like, oh man. I don't think I've done anything too bad.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I would say anything. I'm sure that like anything that was bad, I've since like phased out.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that was kind of bad was the last time we went out, we went to a white trash bash party, and I had these super short jean cutoff shorts I wore, and I got really drunk and was kind of like pulling my belt off, doing like a dance while we're playing beer pong. I think Tiffany was like, "Shawn, don't pull your dick out." I was like, "Don't tell me anything, woman."
You're not boys to me. Where's my toilet seat?
Ooh, oh, here comes the cake.
Oh, let's see. I went to a wedding once and we couldn't find the mother of the bride.
Oh.
She was found in a hotel room in a compromising position with the best man. See, you thought I was going to say groom. With the best man, whose girlfriend was at the wedding.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, there it is.
I wonder if like like during like slow dances. Oh, do you think like when it's like was it the grooms or the brides?
It was the mother of the bride.
Oh, so during the wedding, he's like, "Well, I'm going to be your dad now, so should I give you away?" God damn it, John! Whack. Your mother and I are so proud of you, Beth. Fuck you, Greg.
I was chatting with the groom during the reception. and he asked if I wanted to have a threesome with him and his new wife.
Is this guy or girl?
This is a girl.
Oh, okay.
So but the groom is talking to her.
Well, I mean, the bride's probably into it then, so it might not be too bad. Like, again, weddings are around.
How about 4-way? You, me, my new wife, and toilet seat.
It's the trifecta of the good luck for the wedding. If you
I knew
have
it.
You gotta have something blue, something new, something
and
old,
a threesome,
and a toilet seat. And spoiler alert, I killed a hobo a week ago and he's buried outside.
So we're totally blessed.
So we're blessed. Jesus Christ is our
Hashtag blessed. I responded may not be appropriate since they were just married, and his response was, a ring doesn't cover a hole.
It's true. It's not a false statement.
Okay.
He's like, that's what my wife says anyway. I guess like I hear stories about that sometimes where, and again, it's always kind of like those penthouse stories type thing where it's like, like, oh, well, I hooked up with the bride and the groom like the night before at the reception. Like, even if you're like into that, like that's like your thing. Don't you still think like the wedding night should still kind of be special? Do you think that's starting off your relationship on the wrong foot?
Yeah. Yeah. How not?
But what if, okay, let me put it this way, Richard. So what if your wife at your wedding is like, hey, if my best friend Susan is into it, we should totally take her back to the hotel. What are you doing, Richard?
Okay. So my standing rule for that is that is all you handle that. Yeah. I have nothing to do with it. That's my standing rule. Because I don't want to get...
You don't want to be disappointed. You show up at the hotel, you're like, oh, it's just...
No, I'm saying that I don't want to get accused of pushing too hard.
No, I get that. No, I was just kidding, though. I mean, I just... Like, maybe the next night, maybe you should give it a week. Like, maybe that's the safest thing. Give it a week. If you're the best man, like, that's probably okay.
Yeah, yeah. One horrible thing I witnessed, I introduced the best man to give a speech and hand him the mic. He starts out by saying, well, there were a lot of things that I didn't agree with in this relationship when it first started, and that I still don't agree with because it's seriously messed up and unbalanced, and the dynamic is too one-sided, etc., etc. He's staring at the bride while saying this and trails off. But that's not why we're here today. We're here to celebrate the marriage. So I just want to say congratulations. Everyone in the whole place was looking around, glancing nervously at each other. Afterwards, the father of the groom or bride, this person can't remember, comes up and says, thank you for not cutting the mic. I saw you looking at the head table and for direction, and when you didn't get it, you didn't act. I appreciate that because I think it would have been even more awkward if he had just been cut off and didn't get the chance to at least come back to congratulating them.
Nice. The end of it, he's just like, fuck this shit, open bar, see you there.
So here we go. So 120 people at this wedding, nice couple. The wedding was to take place outside, and the reception was to take place in a large, refurbished barn. Everything goes smoothly until it's time for speeches. At this point in the night, I usually slip away to a somewhat secluded part of the reception to eat and listen in case anything goes wrong, because apparently this person works at weddings. But still close enough that people could find me. Well, the best man comes up, and by this point in the evening, he was already hammered. Starts out normal, talking about how he introduced the bride to the groom and the day they first met. He would go on and on about the bride at times, but hey, some people are like that.
Oh, like a little too far?
Until the end of his speech with how he said it should have been him and how he still loves her. As soon as he said that, everyone was silent. Someone eventually ushered him off stage you, buddy.
Love is love. That's not what that means.
That's end of the night. Oh, here's a story from. Oh, here's a couple little tidbits from another wedding photographer, Shawn. Swanky, expensive venue, very young couple. End of the night, I packed up and walked out of the building, went past an alley to see the bride giving the best man a hand job.
Oh,
that's just sad to me.
And so like, let's say you're that photographer and you see that, like, first off, snap picture for proof, because love sick eyes, you're gonna be like, no, you lying bitch, we're not.
You didn't do, yeah.
But then you see the picture and you're like,
no. See, what you do is that you show that picture to the bride, and you say, hey, I think my fee just doubled. I think we need to talk about that $2,000 photo processing fee, don't you?
I always feel like, so like if you're in that situation and you're a bride or a groom, it's the day of your wedding, and you're like, you know what sounds like a good idea? Giving the best man or the bridesmaid a little handy out in the alleyway.
Oh my God. Like, you couldn't hold off one day, number one. And number two, like, that's your go-to.
What sucks about that, like, I always think about that, like, if you find out that
nothing sucks about it, because there's none of that going on. It's just a hand.
No, yeah, good point. But I mean, like, if you found out that day before you consummated the wedding, you could at least get it all annulled. You don't have any kind of like divorce issues to have to go through. It's just like, you'd be like, we wasted a ton of money to get this wedding going, but we can break separate ways and we're good.
Sure.
Like, if you find that out like 10 years later, you know, it's like, it's 10 years down the road. All of a sudden she confides and she's like, hey, the night of our wedding, I gave Bob a hand job. You're like, who's Bob? You're like,
it was your best man.
He was the caterer. And then 2 years later, I gave Bob another hand job. Wait, you stayed in contact with Bob? Yeah, we became Facebook friends.
At the end of the night, this photographer is sitting with the people that like shoot wedding videos, and they're having a beer. The groom comes up to us and says, I've made a mistake.
Oh.
And everybody does it's usual to feel that way. And, like sometimes, you might have the groom stops and says, no, I'm in love with my best man. I'm gay. Yeah.
And the photographer's like, well, spoiler alert, I think your best man is in love with your wife. Maybe you're the unicorn.
Oh my God.
Weddings, man.
I know, right? Full of nothing but craziness.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably go on. Like, I don't know if there's any like Bridezilla stories or Groomzilla stories.
There's tons of those. I'm kind of skipping over those because those kind of get very the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one. My parents threw a competing after wedding brunch to my own.
What?
And didn't tell me or my wife. No one from my side of the family came to ours because they assumed that plans had changed.
How petty do you have to be?
I found out about the plot when my aunt kissed me goodbye at the end of my wedding and said she'd see me tomorrow at the hotel. The actual brunch was at my in-laws' house. When I confronted my parents about it, they said I should thank them for spending the money and I should have been there. I think this all happened because my parents are jealous of my in-laws who are successful, well-off, generous, and loving. I agree. How petty? How petty do you have to be?
That seems like it's going to be an awkward Thanksgiving. Like those, like, oh my God. Like whenever you have, I'm lucky because both sides of our parents get along really well. Like I've got amazing in-laws and they get along really well with my parents and vice versa. Like almost to the point where they worry more about stepping on each other's toes in all aspects of, mine and Tiffany's life.
Yeah.
So it's really, really nice. Like when you hear stories where people are like, oh, I fucking hate my in-laws. Like I always feel super bad for them.
Yeah. I at the same time my cousin's wedding was about 25 years ago. It was a Catholic wedding, so it was pretty long. At the same time as my cousin's wedding, there was a reception going on for another wedding in the basement of the same church, complete with DJ music. Literally, the exact moment that the priest said, "You may kiss the bride," the DJ downstairs started playing "Roll Out the Barrel." I never heard that song.
I haven't either. Roll out the barrel.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
That seems like a bad planning on the church's part. If it's a Catholic wedding being a church, it seems kind of odd they'd have like a party downstairs. But maybe that should be a draft, Richard, is like weddings that we've attended. Like, have you ever been to a Catholic wedding?
No, I haven't.
If they do like mass and all that, it's like 12 days of your life.
That sounds horrible. That sounds absolutely horrible.
You may kiss the bride.
One wedding happens at a soup kitchen where both of them volunteered at. That sounds nice. I mean, like, I get the sentiment of it. Hundreds of homeless people were gathered outside, and if the couple had said, "Hey, dress casual because if you're coming to a wedding, you'll be helping serve the homeless," I would have been all for it. Instead, we stood there in nice clothes, eating food while all of the homeless people watched through the fence.
Oh, that's... Hey, you guys gonna have any of that cake left over? No, we're not.
Oh,
really wish we didn't have this wedding in the middle of January, huh? Bet it's cold out there.
Also, I have not really understood where this was or expected to run the homeless gauntlet to get in. So I didn't prepare my kids who kept asking if we were going to lose our house.
Oh, God. You got one good one left to send us out on?
No homeless people were allowed in or received any food. They just stood there 20 feet away behind a fence watching us eat.
How pretentious.
Oh, my.
Like, that's like, oh, this is like, you know, those pictures went around to like their clubhouse or their like club that they're part of. Like, you see, we go down all the time and donate our time to help the homeless. So we want to have a wedding here.
Yeah, right?
Like, well, is that one of the homeless guys there? It's like, yeah, that's totally not my Uncle Greg.
Here you go. Battle Royale. I don't know how it started, aside from a bunch of people being way too drunk, but it started outside where people were smoking. I was sitting at my table and noticed that the dance floor fully cleared out. Walked over to the bar and noticed a bunch of people fighting right at the entrance. It eventually spread inside in the front entryway near the bar. An older guy got pushed through a window.
Oh, shit.
The groom got a tooth knocked out. 10 cop cars and a few ambulances showed up.
The flower girl shanked the dad.
The bride just went into the bathroom, changed into normal clothes. But this person thinks they're still married.
Oh, good. So the bride wasn't like changing into normal clothes, like, I'm going to go blow the best man.
Give him a handy out back. The best man's like, good, because I'm gay.
I feel like the worst place to have fights is probably a wedding, and then probably closely followed by is a funeral.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. At least with a funeral, like, you know, it's not like you're gonna offend the guy in the coffin.
That's true. And if you do, then you know it was faking. He's like, hey, This is my day.
He just sits up. Knock it off. And then somebody's like, zombie, and hits him over the head.
Well, Richard, so we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about cheating almost spouses. Learned about battle royales. We've learned about shanking flower girls, and we learned about shagging sultry shutter foxes.
Yeah, and toilet seats are our friend.
Yeah. So what do you have for some Richard's closing thoughts?
Weddings can be crazy, and in a lot of cases, it reveals who you truly are.
Good
so
point.
don't be a dick.
One thing I want to note is, so I always had this thought that weddings are like the couple's last prom.
Oh yeah, I buy that.
Doesn't really
I like that.
to kind of tie a little beautiful bow around weddings, since we've kind of had some good and bad with this. It's like the couple's last prom.
No, I like it.
All right, well, let me do a little bit of housekeeping as we come down the aisle to become man and man, or boy and boy, really. Visit our website, we're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, we're at languageofbro, and email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. If you need some DJs or you need some podcasters for your wedding, email that and we will be there. We charge a very low fee, and you don't really have to worry about.
We'll be like, hey, at least we're not the wedding photographer.
And we'll just be giving each other handy, so it's not like you have to worry about anything.
Spoilers.
All right. And remember, we are part of the most romantic podcast network on the internet, the Pod Bros Network.
A perfect marriage of podcasters on the internet.
Yeah. All right. So is there anything else, Richard, before I close her out?
I don't know. After this, I'm kind of like, don't get married. But no, we're good. Weddings are beautiful.
Yeah, just vet your who you hire for certain things. You know, just make sure you go to their
or
research.
don't. And
all right, well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn,
and I'm Richard,
and I say we eat the beaver. Eat the beaver.
There's my toilet seat.
Make out with the toilet seat.
Are you going to bed now?